by former U.S. Attorney Kendalll Cofffi. Kendall, good to see you.
Hey, thanks, Jose.
Let's talk about this. It gets weirder every day, doesn't it? This
Oh,
story.
my gosh, yeah.
I mean, but let's talk about Lyle Mitchell now. What can investigators get from him?
Well, they'd love to find out anything that his wife may have told him or he might have found out otherwise. It gives them any kind of clue as to where these dangerous killers might have been heading to. They'll also ask him about anything else he might have known about how the escape was perpetrated, and of course whether he has what there might be reason to think that he was a target of murder. One thing is for clear. He is not going to support her. He's a guard himself, or he works at the prison. He's going to be trying to cooperate 100% with the authorities.
We're expecting to hear from Clinton County District Attorney at noon today. Do you expect any additional charges for her?
Too hard to say if there's going to be more charges. There will be at some point. Today could just be a status report on where they are after 12 days of the search. But she's in for trouble for much, much more than prison contraband. And if some killing happens as a result of this prison escape.
In other words, if these two guys in some form in the future or present day get involved in a shootout or they kill somebody?
Exactly.
She will be held accountable for that as well?
I think they're going to look for charges to bring her to trial for murder. If this putting two incredibly dangerous people loose on the public results in a killing, then I think she's got accountability for that.
Just on your thoughts on NBC reporting that prison officials were denied approval for a lockdown a couple of days before this breakout. I mean, does that seem odd to you?
Well, it seems odd, and it seems troubling in this context, because typically in a lockdown there's a very thorough examination, cell by cell. And we'd have to, put a lot more pieces of this together to know, but it strikes you that if there had been an examination of the cell of these two inmates, that perhaps the evidence of the planned escape would have come to light, and this horrific escape, this dangerous situation wouldn't have resulted.
Are you surprised that we're 14 days into this and still no trail of these guys?
I'm astonished. This is 2015, and it's really hard to understand, but there have been a lot of elements working against the authority, everything from rain to forest coverage to fog. And these are two guys that are not only dangerous, but they've been planning this. So they're very capable of doing a lot of things to make it hard to find them, to hiding out in basically invisible locations for days at a time. So this is going to be a tough one. I think we all expect that they're going to be brought to justice. But there have been a few that stayed out a long time. Remember Eric Rudolph?
That's right.
The so-called Olympic bomber, close to 5 years.
Kendalll Cofffi, so good to see you. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.